Welcome to Mic Drop with Julia. And today we have a very unusual session because I'm welcoming Scott Taylor, the data whisperer, to my show. Welcome, Scott.
Hi, Julia. How are you? Great to be here.
And yeah, I know you don't really do a lot of whispering, just saying this is a tape, so don't whisper.
No, I don't do a lot of. We save that for the data. I'm out there yelling, telling, and selling about the power and value of data management.
Yeah. So let me ask you first question. What do you wish you knew when you started your career that you know now?
I think what my real value is and what my true exceptional talents are. I bounced around a little bit. I've always been on the supplier side of the data space. So I'm not a practitioner. I didn't work at an enterprise. I worked at Nielsen for 25 years. I was at Dun & Bradstreet for a couple of years. I consulted at Kantar, part of WPP. So all these world-class iconic data brands, and talked to all kinds of enterprises in every level of maturity all over the world to get a sense. So I was able to tap into the pain they had and the frustration they had about data management, as well as the passion they had about what it could do for their organization. But in those roles, sometimes I had product under me, sometimes I had other developmental activities, and my real talent is as a storyteller, putting together the story, the compelling narrative that gets people from I have no idea what you're talking about to how do we live without this? And that talent, and if I retrofit my whole career, everywhere I was successful, it was because I had some form of storytelling role to put together that pitch, that approach, that positioning for the value of what we were representing, which I expanded into what I do today as a full-time content creator, helping people with data storytelling for data management, which is a way to help enterprises understand the strategic value of data management without getting technical. I focus on the why rather than the how. So I wish I'd known that earlier, because I would have refined my approach. I probably would have had less political challenges at some of these organizations, and I think I would have succeeded even better. But right now I am square in it. I know what I'm good at and I'm sticking to it. I stay in my lane, as they say. I play my position. I play it really well, but I stick to my position.
I've heard the phrase, and I think there is a whole book on that, zone of genius. So I think you found your zone of genius. So there is, yeah, it's an interesting phrase, and the whole book is very interesting. I'll probably put it in the comments. But it's funny because what I do is also how value of data and data management for the companies. But I got to it, storytelling was actually never one of my strong points. I was very analytical. I was very good at building, but I was like, of course it's valuable. What are you talking about? Why do you even have to talk about it? Like, it's obvious that this is of value. And then it took a really long time for me to get to the point like, oh no, you actually have to tell a story and you have to explain it, and you can't just do the techie thing and say, well, you should just get it because it's just so obvious. So it's kind of interesting that I got to the same point, but a very different route.
I always partnered up with someone like you in the organizations I was in, somebody who understood the how, and I was the person who could articulate the why. It's rare to have somebody who's expert in both areas. But I was able to tap into the angst of the enterprise data manager who was really excited about what data management could do, but really frustrated that nobody would listen to them.
Yeah. I mean, and now I teach why at NYU, and I teach why and I teach how. And those are two different pieces, and it's actually quite interesting to see. I have a very diverse class, how different groups of the class like why versus how. Some people are really into how and very impatient with why, and some people love the why and really impatient with the how. So it's kind of, I'm seeing that playing out in front of my eyes right now. So Scott, let me ask you a second question. So what would be your advice if you're in the room, and you're often in the room with lots of data management professionals? In fact, I have seen you to be in those rooms. What would your advice be?
It's always the same thing. I get asked it all the time too, whether it's student data scientists or CDO. learn how to tell a story or actually get better at storytelling. Humans know how to tell stories. Everybody knows how to tell a story. All these people we talk to, no matter how technical they are, they know how to share what they did last weekend or something exciting that happened to them. And storytelling, when used correctly, is an absolute superpower because it can change people's minds. So focus on that soft skill. To be great at data, you have to be good at the hard skills. You don't just come out of it from the soft skill side. So the upbringing and the training that most people who are really good at data come from is the hard skill side. But don't forget that soft skill side. Learn, if you want to be a leader, if you want to advance in your organization, you got to be able to communicate well. And you're up against a lot better storytellers in your organization, from people in marketing who know how to tell a story, people in sales. If they can't tell a story, they don't make quota. So if you're looking for engagement, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for funding and money for the work that you want to do, you got to be able to put it in a story.
Yeah, I had to learn it such a hard way. I've gotten better at it. It's still not my superpower to tell a story. I can explain the value of telling a story, but telling a story in that way, it took me a really long time to learn how to do it. But that's actually, if I can look at the arc of my career, the better I got at telling the story, the better my career, the more I progressed in my career. So it was just very, very clear, like looking back, if you chart, okay, my ability at soft skills, relating to people and telling the story, and me going up in the career chain, they align. They're perfectly aligned. So,
beautiful. You're a perfect business case here. Cause and effect. It works.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you, Scott. Thank you for coming to my show.
Sure. Here's my mic. Can I drop it? There we
Yes.
go. Does that work?
Yes.